Hey, you guys, Coach Liz here. I hope you had a great 4th of July, and I hope you took my challenge and worked on practicing Stop, Challenge, Choose. That really is a tool that can help you in so many areas of your life. All right, this week we are going to talk about element 14 in your life book. It's all about transition. Now, transition is an important part of your journey. That's really what makes our program different than other diets or other programs, because our program is not a diet. Once you get to your goal weight, we move to the next phase, which is transitioning to a healthy eating plan, a healthy lifestyle. We call it the optimization phase, is what we're working toward. Now, transition is so important for 2 reasons. Number one, physically, we're working back up to the caloric intake to fit your active lifestyle. So we're slowly increasing the carbs and calories, but also mentally. That is a big part. Learning what foods to eat together, learning to make those choices on your own. So you're slowly incorporating each food group back one at a time. So I love transition, and just know it's very important. Don't skip over it. So check out element 14. But I want to give you a couple tools, because over the almost 9 years that I've been coaching, I have seen a huge difference with people keeping their weight off. Number one, people that go through the transition, it's just so important to be able to keep your weight off. Also, working on the mental changes, transitioning mentally from those old habits to the new habits that you want to keep doing for the rest of your life. So I'm going to give you a couple tools that can really help you with emotional eating, because we're all going to go through hard times, stressful times, busy times in our life, that it's so easy to go back to what was comfortable as far as emotional eating, emotional triggers. So I'm going to share 2 things with you today. I'll put the links down in the notes so that you can print them off and have them. The first thing is, this is our blasted menu. And I love this because it's really helpful to recognize when we are emotionally eating, when we are blasted, when we're bored, lonely, angry, stressed, tired, excited, or depressed. So when you have a craving or a trigger to eat something or to react in a certain way, or buffer is one way to look at it. I want you to ask yourself, am I blasted? Am I bored, lonely, angry, stressed, tired, excited, or depressed? Is that why I'm wanting to eat that? And I love these questions that you can go through and ask yourself. Am I hungry? Would I eat something healthy? Am I thirsty? Am I emotional? That refers to the blasted menu. Will this fix my problem? Am I falling for a food fallacy, like it's free, it's a rare opportunity, I shouldn't waste food, I paid good money for it? Those are some of the questions that you can ask yourself to recognize those emotional eating triggers. So go ahead and print that off and start asking yourself, when you have a craving, if it's a food fallacy or an emotional trigger, like if you are blasted. Now, if it is because you're blasted, I'm going to share one more screen. I want you to make a blasted menu. Now, this is really important because it's going to give you a tool to learn how to deal with those emotional triggers. So go ahead and just get a piece of paper and a pencil. And I love this example because it actually writes down things that you could do for each of those situations. So what is a list of things that you could do when you're bored? You could go for a walk, you could read, you could paint your nails, you can clean out a drawer, so these are all things that would either be relaxing or relieve some stress, or it could be kind of things from your to-do list, things that would bring you joy and happiness instead of food. So that's why I say, like, go sweep your porch or wash your windows or take a hot bath. So ask yourself, if I'm bored, what could I do instead of eat? What about when I'm lonely? How about when I'm angry? Maybe you'll go work out, or you'll write in your journal, or you'll take a shower, something like that. A punching bag is great when you're angry. What about when you're stressed or tired, excited, or depressed? So go ahead and write down your blasted menu, some things that you can do when you are having an emotional trigger. Now, this is what I want you to do with that menu. Keep it where you can see it. Maybe on your fridge is a great place. And next time that you're feeling blasted for an emotional trigger, let yourself know that you can eat anything you want, right? You have that choice. But first, I always say, first I'm going to have a big glass of water, and I'm going to do something off of that menu. And usually it takes about 20 minutes for a craving to go away, whether you feed it or not. So it's much more enjoyable if you go and do something to occupy your time for that 20 minutes. Or sometimes you just have to sit with the uncomfortable that you really want it, but you're not going to have it, right? It's just kind of uncomfortable because that is a buffer that you're trying to cover up an emotion. And so sometimes just sitting with that, recognizing how you're feeling, taking some deep breaths, just working through it. And the more you do it, I promise your brain gets stronger and stronger and is able to handle those much easier and much quicker. And so after that 20 minutes, after you had that glass of water and you did something off of your menu, then if you're really, really wanting that still, at least it's a choice, right? It's not a trigger. You made that choice. You created space between stimulus and response. And so that's really what we're working toward. So that is my challenge for you is make your blasted menu, stick it on your fridge. Next time you have a craving or something that you're trying to buffer and you're turning to food, practice that. Let yourself know you can have that chocolate cake or whatever it is. But first, you're going to have a big glass of water. You're going to do something off of that menu, and then you'll decide if you're going to have that. So that has helped me so much. A quick example, over the weekend, the 4th of July weekend, we were at baseball tournaments all weekend long, like all day long. Sometimes I'm at baseball games for 8 to 10 hours, and that I can get bored, right? Like just sitting and watching. And so people around me had candy. It's so easy just to start snacking, right? Because you're bored. And so I really had to ask myself, am I hungry? Would I eat something healthy instead of that? And then I realized I'm just bored. So I had a big glass of water. I went and took a few laps around the field while I was watching. And then I could come back and ask myself, do I still want that? No, because I felt so good. It was something, it was gone. It was past. And then I felt so much better. So that was just one way that I would have been able to use that in my own life. So I want you to practice that. Let me know how it goes and have a great week. We'll talk to you later.